All right, so dealing with DoorDash customers can honestly be truly amazing. And also, some can treat you terribly, almost like you are like the gum on the bottom of their shoe. And same goes for restaurants. But why? What's the need? In this video, I like to share with you something I read in the New York Post about Dashers who think they get treated differently just because they're DoorDash drivers. Is there a reality of Dashers getting treated badly just because of what we do? And finally, we're going to end with what can you do as a Dasher if you find yourself not being treated fairly? There was an article by the New York Post, and I found it really interesting because when I was reading through it, they interviewed a Dasher who used to be a paramedic and decided to do a little bit of DoorDash on the side because he also has a power washing business and it was slow. So he wanted DoorDash to kind of get in their mix so he can supplement his income. And what he found very interesting, and honestly, he was kind of disgusted by it, is that when he's a paramedic, people respect him and they truly treat him with kindness because of what he does. And it really shocked him that by being a DoorDash driver, there's really no humanity in the way people treat DoorDash drivers, from the restaurants to the customers themselves. And just because he wasn't a paramedic at the time and he was a Dasher, the differences were pretty substantial in the way that people talked to him, people treated him, and he was absolutely shocked by the way that this industry is. Now, later in the article, they brought in a couple more Dashers to kind of chime in. Is this kind of really the way it is? And one woman says, yeah, she can walk into a restaurant and say that she's a DoorDash driver and they purposely make her wait 15 minutes, 20 minutes, knowing that the order is already ready, but they're purposely not giving her the food because she's a DoorDash driver. Where if a regular customer comes in and says who they are, they take their order and they walk out the door. So it really had me spark some interest in this because it had me thinking, do they have a different opinion of DoorDash drivers because of who we are? Are we really looked down to? Now, the guy in the article says that basically we are minimum wage Dashers and we are treated that way opposed to being appreciated, because we are literally giving people their food because they don't want to leave their home. It's interesting, right? So I'm going to throw this question out to you to begin with. Do you think DoorDash drivers get treated poorly or unfairly or differently just because of what we do? Go ahead and let me know. There definitely is a reality of being a DoorDash driver and what we go through customer wise and even restaurant wise. I can think of my own scenarios and my own bad experiences, but I don't want to take it away because I said this in the beginning. There truly are amazing people, which is why I enjoy doing DoorDash as much as I do, because there are kind people out there that do appreciate drivers, but at the same time, there are people who just don't. And when you think about how we even get paid, that and alone speaks volumes of how much someone really appreciates their driver, especially if you're going up and beyond and they don't see it that way. But it also goes back to, is it the way that they're actually treating drivers? I can relate to the person who says that they purposely hold her food because she's a DoorDash driver. I can't tell you how many times that over the years I've been ignored on purpose. I have gotten looks because I'm a DoorDash driver. It was, I've gotten treated with disrespect. I've gotten treated rudely. Like, those things don't bother me. I just blow them off and go, whatever, that's your issue, not mine. I'm having a good day. You can go ahead and go about your day. But at the end of the day, is it really that serious? Is someone's life is I have a hard time in any industry, maybe because I come from the customer service industry myself. I never understand if someone is having a bad day. We all have bad days, believe me. I have my fair share. I just never let the world know about it. I just don't believe in having my day be projected to other people. And I think a lot of times that happens with what we do because of how many people we come in contact with. But here's a food for thought, and this is what I was thinking when I was doing it. Have people, customers in restaurants, become so unappreciated because there are many dashers who have given us dashers, the ones who care, a bad name. And we all know dashers that, like, we can probably all know in our own area, bad dashers who shove phones in people's faces, who don't pay attention to notes, and it's supposed to be hand it to me and they just drop it at the door because they don't want to hand it to the customer. They don't follow instructions. They don't even talk to the customer. Like, I can go on and on and on. But the level of service that the customer is expecting versus what they are receiving from some of these dashers has it put a bad light on all dashers in general. I think it's human nature for people in general to have one bad experience and think that every experience is going to be the same, or in this case, every dasher is horrible and will be the same, which is why they might reduce the tip, or they might not use the platform anymore, or they might give dashers a hard time. Just kind of put yourself in a restaurant shoes. If someone is shoving a phone in your face all day long and you finally get a really nice dasher, are you really going to care that they're nice? No, you've just gotten the same treatment all day long, and you're probably fed up to hear with the way that you've been treated at a restaurant. To me, it's a kind of a two-way street. So, yes, customers can be rude. Yes, restaurants can be rude. Can we be looked upon badly? But did our own dashers in our own community put bad light and bad taste in people's mouths just because of the way that they personally dash? I think that has something to do with it. Okay, what can we do as a dasher if you find yourself not being treated correctly? I kill people with kindness just because that's who I am. As far as restaurants are concerned, I have formed so many partnerships and even friendships over the years that I've gotten to know people there and something personal about them. And it has helped me so much that as soon as they see them, they see me, they know my name, they know who I am. They say, "Hey, Kim, what's your order?" And they get me out the door quickly, even sometimes before any other dashers or any other drivers, because I have that connection with them. And not only that, they give you some good inside information, and they can also give you accurate wait times opposed to, just give me another 5 more minutes. They like to be real with people that they actually know and appreciate. So start there with restaurants. As far as customers are concerned, you can't affect someone's mood or opinions that they have of dashers. The only thing you can do is do the best job you possibly can. I would highly recommend never confronting anybody, just because you will wind up on a news article just like we're talking about, and it won't be pretty. Headline: DoorDash driver attacks customer. Please don't be one of those people just because a customer is having a bad day. Here's the thing. This job is picking up and dropping off. Don't let anybody get you down, even customers, even restaurants. We're here just to go out for a couple of hours. Don't let the small things bother you, and keep on moving and making your money. So, what do you think? Do you think that customers and restaurants have bad opinions of Dashers? Do you think it affects the way that they interact with you in general? Go ahead and let me know. You know, the way that some Dashers get treated can be confusing and make absolutely no sense to you, and that's fine. But you know what makes no sense? This order I just got the other day, it's a puzzler, and you're going to want to check this video out next and learn all about it in case it happens to you, and I'll see you over there.